Next on Worcester News Tonight, it's primary day in Massachusetts. The last-minute push by candidates to get residents out to vote. Plus, a Worcester institution outfitting thousands each Halloween announces it's closing. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. It's primary election day in Massachusetts, and in Leicester and Worcester, there was a three-way race for Democrats running in the 17th Worcester House District. David LaBeouf is the winner tonight, beating Stu Loosemore and Pam Jem. Our Cam Jandro caught up with him at his election party just a short time ago.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here in Worcester with David LaBeouf, who has just won the Democratic vote. David will now move on to face Republican Paul Fullen for state representative for the 17th Worcester District. Mr. LaBeouf, congratulations. What are some of the emotions running through you right now?
Thank you. I mean, part of it is like, wait, is this real? You know, I've been campaigning since last October, so this is really a marathon and not a sprint. And it's a nice thing to know that we could work in bold coalitions. We could talk about really your bread and butter issues for the district, and it resonated with the voters. And I'm really excited about the victory that we had, the amount of votes that we received, and I'm really excited about getting to work for November because our district deserves a representative who believes in the dignity and respect of all of our residents.
What is some of your strategy in hopes of keeping this success moving forward to November's general election?
Sure. I mean, obviously, we have a great volunteer base. We energize people in the district through talking about issues such as making sure we have equitable health care access. And I would go to houses 3 or 4 times, making sure that they heard who I was, what I was about, and saw really what was in my heart and soul when I was campaigning.
Well, Mr. LaBeouf, congratulations. Again, David LaBeouf winning the Democratic vote. He will go up against Republican Paul Fullen in hopes of winning the seat for the 17th Worcester District in November's general election. Reporting in Worcester tonight, I'm Cam Jandro. Let's send it back to the studio.
Thanks, Cam. Governor Charlie Baker fended off a challenge from fellow Republican Scott Lively in the GOP primary. The governor voted at the First Church on Monument Avenue in Swampscott. Afterwards, he met with voters at Christopher's Restaurant in Reading. Republican candidate Scott Lively was with supporters in Worcester tonight. He says regardless of this outcome, he's hoping to send a message to Massachusetts and the Republican Party.
Well, we need to move back to the right. We've been going to the left for far too long. We've driven out business out of the state. We have a culture of corruption throughout the government here in Massachusetts, and only someone who stands on a platform of ethics is going to be able to fix that problem.
Democrat Jay Gonzalez won his primary and will face Baker in November's election. Turnout a concern for today's primary. Some were worried the Labor Day holiday and warm weather kept people from the polls, while other voters say they want their voices heard no matter what. Our Chandler Walsh explains.
It's important that we try and reflect on who it is that we want representing us as people.
Amy AVILES says voting in the primary election is just as important as any other.
I don't want to take advantage of the fact that I have this opportunity when I know other people don't.
She's not the only one. Frank Janice has been voting in the Massachusetts primaries for about 40 years. He made sure to make his voice heard in contested races.
There's one contest I was interested in, and I guess that's the Secretary of State.
This year, the election falls the day after a long holiday weekend. Worcester's Assistant City Clerk Nico Vangeli says the office is working for decent voter turnout.
I think people are still recovering from the Labor Day weekend, but I hope that anybody who's still in the city, has returned to the city, takes advantage of voting today.
Worcester has about 109,000 registered voters. Turnout in state primaries is historically low. In 2016, it was less than 6% in the city. This group spent the day in the heat trying to gain voter support.
It's pretty warm, but I brought a bunch of water and we'll survive.
Vangeli says voting in Worcester's 50 polling locations has been steady throughout the day. He says he hopes it continues to increase until the polls close.
We have seen a kind of spike in voting at the 17th Worcester District, which is the state representative district that includes Ward 7 and part of Ward 8.
You should all do it, all vote, right? That's our duty.
That was our Chandler Walsh reporting. The results are in for the Republican nomination for the 2nd Congressional District seat. Grafton resident Tracy Lavvorn will be challenging 21-year incumbent Congressman Jim McGovern in November. She says she wants to focus on what everyone has in common, avoiding socialism and repairing bridges. She says she's ready for a challenge and to work hard during the next couple of months.
I'll always stand up for what's right. I have a proven track record of that. I've saved the taxpayers' money. I have no problem going up against a David and Goliath story. You know, in Congressional District 2, we've never had another choice. You know, you're not going to get another choice opposite of Jim McGovern than myself.
Lavvorn says she'll be knocking on doors and talking out to residents so she can represent the people of District 2. Candidates who were uncontested in Tuesday's primary were also visiting polling stations and greeting voters. Jen Caissie is not facing a primary challenger for governor's council in the 7th district. The Oxford resident is running for re-election after first being elected in 2010. The governor's council handles items like judicial nominations and pardons. Caissie says it's important to show you're ready to work every day.
Looking forward to meeting all kinds of voters. We're getting a lot of beeps here today, a lot of waves, seeing a lot of people that we know, and just getting out and letting folks know that we're working hard. I don't have a primary opponent, but I want to let people know that I'm out here, I'm working hard and working for their vote.
Again, Jen Caissie is not facing a primary challenge for governor's council in the 7th district. Worcester lawyer Paul DiPaolo is also running for the seat as a Democrat. The confirmation hearing for Brett Kavanaugh, President Donald Trump's nominee for the Supreme Court, began today. Among those in attendance was Senator Elizabeth Warren. She says through hearing him speak on issues, he has already demonstrated he's a right-wing extremist. She says what makes her worried is how much the Trump administration is hiding his paper record.
But what did he actually do behind the privacy of closed doors? Because make no mistake, once he is named, if he is confirmed to this spot, he would have a lifetime appointment, and there would be no one who could stop him from whatever he wanted to do.
Kavanaugh's hearing is expected to last at least 3 days. A Rutland woman is giving new hope to people who feel as though they have nowhere else to turn. After losing her son Luke to suicide 3 years ago, Patty Inwood says she had an amazing support system who helped and continues to help her through the grief. She says friends have stepped forward to help create this organization. Social workers are offering services, and some have even been certified in grief therapy. Through the organization Hope Lives Here, the goal is to help other adults going through the grief process. They host monthly meetings, have a peer-to-peer support program, and have launched a social media presence.
We started on Luke's anniversary, April 14th of this year. We have a really incredible following of people that we are helping every day, and it's really gratifying, and hopefully we will only move forward with that.
The group meets the 4th Tuesday of every month at the Rutland Public Library from 6:30 to 7:30. If you or someone you know wants more information, you can visit their website at hopeliveshere.xyz. A WRTA bus got a brand new look thanks to PowWow Worcester, but it wasn't an ordinary paint job. Dozens of Worcester Public School students created designs in hopes theirs would be chosen for the bus. Tuesday, all of the designs were put on display at the city's pop-up art exhibit downtown. The winner was Thu Lee, a senior at Burncoat High. Her design features blue ocean waves and a bright pink sky. Lee says the contest was a great way to showcase her artistic ability.
It's amazing, and it's like a great opportunity for me to take a step further for my career in the future, because I really want to be an artist. I really want to be a graphic designer, but at the same time, I want to look into more like digital art and do something like cool, creative.
The bus will now go into rotation with the rest of the WRTA's buses. After more than 30 years in business, the Halloween outlet store in Worcester has announced this is the last season they'll be open. The family-owned and run business sells Fright year-round. It's been featured on national television stations like the Travel Channel and was voted #1 overall Halloween shopping experience by the Wall Street Journal. According to the store's Facebook page, this Friday and Saturday, they're holding an going out of business sale. Everything in the store will be 50% off. More than 200 residents of Fountainhead Apartments in Westboro are waiting to get back into their homes this evening. A fire on Labor Day forced most to leave with few belongings. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
Jean Cox is waiting to go back into her home at Fountainhead in Westboro. A fire forced her and about 250 others out Monday night.
We left with nothing. I didn't take anything. I just got out of there.
The Westboro Fire Department says the 2-alarm fire started in a mechanical elevator room on the top floor.
They encountered a heavy smoke condition on floors 8 and the penthouse is floor 9. Had some issues accessing the room. They encountered some fire conditions, heavy conditions in that one room.
Everyone was able to get out safely, but the power needed to be shut off. Tenants who returned to the apartment Tuesday say they were told by management the building remains closed, but were allowed to grab some items.
A little bit clothes, and also we are trying how many times we can go, and whatever necessary we will take.
On Facebook, management says all the apartments are okay and they are waiting for the all clear before letting residents back in. Cox grabbed some of her clothes and is staying with her sister in Northborough for the time being.
When I smelled that electric, I said, uh-oh, and out we got.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.